In 2026, dark web marketplaces are at the center of the criminal underground economy online. These are hidden websites where hackers buy and sell stuff like stolen passwords, virus-infected data, hacked credit cards, harmful software, and even ways to break into company systems. Some of these sites sell pretty much everything, while others focus on just one thing, like credit card scams, stolen accounts, ransomware tools, or selling hacked access into networks. In this video, we'll break down the top 10 dark web marketplaces of 2026. We're going to look at what these marketplaces actually sell, why they matter, and why cybersecurity experts and researchers keep such a close eye on this hidden part of the internet. We'll also get into how this whole underground world keeps changing, police shutting markets down, scammers running off with people's money, fake copycat sites, hackers attacking each other's platforms, and sellers constantly hopping from one market to another. All of this makes it one of the toughest problems in cybersecurity right now. This video is made purely for education and cybersecurity awareness. What exactly are dark web marketplaces? Basically, they're hidden online stores where criminals buy, sell, and trade illegal digital stuff. They run on something called the Tor network, which hides who's using them. People pay with cryptocurrency, use a middleman payment system called escrow so nobody gets scammed too easily. And sellers build up a reputation over time, kind of like reviews on a normal shopping site. But unlike normal online shopping, these sites are built to hide everyone's identity. Sellers usually talk through encrypted messages so no one can read them. The websites change their links all the time to dodge fake copycat sites and to stay ahead of the police. And people use special privacy tools just to avoid getting tracked. Not every one of these marketplaces works the same way. Some are like a one-stop shop for basically anything illegal: malware, scams, fake documents, drugs, stolen accounts, all in one place. Others focus on just one thing, like stolen credit cards, leaked passwords, or hacked access into company networks. And honestly, that specialization is what makes this whole underground world harder for researchers to keep up with. What do criminals actually sell on the dark web? Before we look at the marketplaces themselves, let's understand what's actually being sold there. 1. Stolen logins. The most common thing sold is stolen usernames and passwords for emails, social media, even company accounts. Hackers use these to break into people's accounts. 2. Stolen card details. Credit card numbers, CVVs, and bank details are sold here too. This fuels a huge amount of online payment fraud. 3. Infostealer logs. These are data dumps taken straight from infected computers, saved passwords, browsing history, cookies, crypto wallet info, and more. Basically everything needed to pretend to be someone else online. 4. Malware and hacking tools. You'll also find ready-made hacking tools spyware, rats, keyloggers, phishing kits sold, so even beginners can launch attacks without knowing how to code. 5. Fake documents. Beyond hackers, many marketplaces sell counterfeit documents, including fake passports, driver's licenses, identity cards, and even KYC verification documents used to bypass online verification systems. 6. Initial access. Ready-made hacks. One of the fastest-growing markets is initial access. Instead of hacking organizations themselves, cybercriminals simply buy access to already compromised networks, including RDP servers, VPN accounts, SSH access, cPanel accounts, and even corporate infrastructure. 7. Digital goods. Some platforms specialize in digital goods, offering cracked software, premium account credentials, stolen streaming subscriptions, and scam templates that can be used for fraud or social engineering. 8. Drugs. Some old-school illegal goods like synthetic drugs, narcotics, prescription drugs still show up, though most marketplaces have shifted toward hackers because it's more profitable and less risky for them. 9. Guides and cash-out services. Finally, many underground forums provide guides and tutorials teaching phishing, carding, OPSEC, and other criminal techniques, while cash-out services help criminals convert stolen cryptocurrency or digital assets into real-world money. How do dark web marketplaces work? At first glance, dark web marketplaces work surprisingly similar to normal online shopping websites. Sellers create listings, buyers browse products, place orders, and complete payments. The biggest difference is that everything is designed to keep both parties anonymous. Cryptocurrency payments. Now, payments. You can't exactly use a credit card here. Bitcoin was the original king. It's still everywhere. But Bitcoin is not private. Every transaction is recorded on a public ledger. Sophisticated blockchain analysis firms like Chainalysis can trace payments straight back to exchanges with KYC. That's why Monero took over. Monero uses ring signatures, stealth addresses, and confidential transactions. You literally cannot see the sender, receiver, or amount on the blockchain. It's untraceable by design. Most serious markets today only accept Monero. Some markets also use internal wallet systems. You deposit crypto, trade within the platform, withdraw later. Convenient? Yes. But you're handing your funds to a centralized server. That's a single point of failure. Escrow systems. Let's start with trust. On the surface web, you have Amazon, eBay, PayPal, all middlemen handling disputes. On the dark web, there's no legal system. So marketplaces built their own. Escrow. The buyer sends crypto to the marketplace's wallet. The vendor ships the goods or delivers the digital product. Once the buyer confirms, funds are released. Sounds clean, right? Here's the problem. You're trusting the marketplace. And marketplaces have a nasty habit of disappearing overnight. It's called an exit scam. One day, the site's up with millions in escrow. Next day, gone. Silk Road, Alphabet, Evolution all fell to seizures or exit scams. So escrow doesn't eliminate risk. It just concentrates it. PGP encryption and OPSEC. If you're operating on these markets, PGP is non-negotiable. Pretty good privacy. Asymmetric encryption. You generate a public key and a private key. The marketplace stores your public key. Messages sent to you are encrypted. Only your private key decrypts them. No PGP. Your messages are plain text. Anyone who compromises the marketplace law enforcement, hackers, insiders reads everything. Markets also push two-factor authentication, usually TOTP anti-phishing codes, word you set that appears on the real login page so you know it's not a clone. Private mirrors. Hidden service URLs only given to verified users. Mirror verification, PGP signed mirrors to prove authenticity. OPSEC failure is what gets people caught. Not the technology, the behavior. Vendor verification and reputation. How do you know a vendor isn't a Fed or a scammer? Reputation systems. Buyers leave reviews. Vendors accumulate scores. Top sellers have thousands of completed orders. Some markets require vendor bonds, a deposit of several hundred or $1,000 that gets forfeited if the vendor scams too many people. There are dispute systems. Moderators step in when a deal goes bad. But here's something people don't talk about. Manipulation. Vendors can buy fake reviews, create sock puppet accounts to leave positive feedback. Dispute systems can be gamed. A high reputation score doesn't mean the vendor is trustworthy. It means they haven't been caught yet. Trust on the dark web is an illusion. It's a probabilistic game. Types of marketplaces. Not all dark web markets are the same. Let me break down the categories. Carding markets. These specialize in stolen payment data. CVVs, full LZE, full identity packages. Dumps, track data from magnetic stripes. Bank logins. The goods are usually digital. You buy the data, you cash out yourself. Stealer log markets. This is newer and growing fast. Malware, like Redline, Vidar, Raccoon, they infect machines and exfiltrate everything. In 2026, BriansClub is still active, selling CVVs, dumps, and full Z complete identity packages linked to stolen payment cards. Carding markets are incredibly resilient. Takedowns, breaches, law enforcement pressure, they keep coming back because the demand never drops. 7. WeTheNorth Market. WeTheNorth Market, also called WTN, is a Canada-focused Darknet marketplace launched in 2021. It displays roughly 8,000 to 9,000 listings, smaller than the giants on this list, but its regional focus makes it unique. Canadian dollars, domestic shipping, local fraud patterns, and counterfeit documents built for Canadian identification. If you're tracking cybercrime activity specific to Canada, WeTheNorth is where a lot of it surfaces. Drugs, fraud, digital products, and counterfeit items, all tailored for a Canadian audience. 8. Vortex Marketplace. Vortex Marketplace describes itself as a classic wallet escrow market. It shows roughly 4,800 to 6,300 visible listings and is primarily drug-heavy, but also carries digital products, fraud listings, and counterfeit material. What makes Vortex technically interesting is its built-in coin swap feature. It accepts Bitcoin, Monero, and USDT, and users can swap between currencies internally at a 4% conversion fee. For analysts tracking blockchain transactions, that internal swap adds complexity. For users, it keeps the entire payment flow inside one platform. 9. Anubis Market. Anubis Market is a multi-category marketplace with 8,000 to 9,000 listings across steroids, drugs, counterfeit items, cannabis, and digital goods. It's a steady operator. It avoids attention by not growing too fast and maintaining strong infrastructure. Anubis also offers an Ethereum swap feature, allowing users to convert ETH to BTC or XMR for purchases. For monitoring teams, Anubis is useful for tracking the non-drug digital goods economy, which on Darknet markets often overlaps with fraud utilities and account access. 10. FreshTools. FreshTools is different from everything else on this list. It operates on the ClearNet, not through Tor. Active since around 2019, FreshTools specializes in ready-to-use access. RDP accounts, cPanel credentials, webmail logins, SMTP relays, WordPress admin panels, and root SSH credentials. Historically, it has claimed inventory in the hundreds of thousands of products. FreshTools is the first-stop shop for attackers who don't want to browse multi-category markets. They want a working compromise system delivered fast. Bonus, Dread Forum. Bonus entry, Dread Forum. It's not a marketplace, but it's one of the most important platforms in the dark web ecosystem. Dread is a Tor-based discussion forum with a Reddit-like interface. It hosts discussions about vendor reputation, scam reports, market outages, law enforcement rumors, and migration patterns. For threat intelligence, Dread is a leading indicator when a market is about to exit scam or face a takedown. The first signals almost always appear on Dread before formal reporting catches up. Outra, that's the dark web in 2026. 10 markets, 1 forum, and millions of stolen records changing hands every single day. Some of these markets will be gone by next month. New ones will pop up. But the pattern never changes. Infected devices feed these platforms, and your data is the product. If this was useful, drop a like and subscribe. I cover cybersecurity, OSINT, and the underground economy every week. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next one.